I'm in my season of singleness right now, so I'm not going to entertain that conversation. I am in my season of singleness right now, so you know what? I'm going to be doing the inner work, and y'all can have that outer work. I'm in my season of singleness, and I'm just not going out tonight because tomorrow I got the gym. And then after that, I got the swim. And then after that, I got to write my book. Now, see, that's what I wish I would hear from most individuals who talk about this season of singleness, right? Heck, I've used the terminology before when it wasn't really fitting. Like, yes, you find yourself in a place where you are legally single. Like, if you got the paperwork, you have to write down single. Married, you got to write down single. That's just the truth of the matter. However, it is not necessarily the season of singleness that most people talk about. And when I now look at this concept of season of singleness, I see it a lot differently than I used to, right? I used to believe it was just about the title that you have on you, not about the way in which you conduct yourself while you're in that state or in that space. Example, if you are claiming to be in your season of singleness, but you're still dating around, or you're still texting this one, that one, that one, this one, that one, that one, this one, are you really in a state of singleness, or are you in a state of mingleness, right? Try and get all deep and poetic. Are you in a state of singleness, or are you in a state of mingleness? Like, honestly, where are you? You got to be honest with yourself. You don't have to be honest with me, but you got to be honest with yourself. What are you actually doing? Is your season of singleness a lie, or are you truly resonating with what it means to be in that space? Because when I hear it, I believe that means I am taking time to heal. I just got out of a relationship, or I was in a relationship a while ago, or, I'm about to get out of one. Well, actually, if you're in that space right now, you go handle your business first, right? But you find yourself single, of course. Maybe you had a divorce after 20 or 30 years, and maybe it was a short-lived relationship, but you finally come to a realization that, man, I got to heal, right? And hopefully you're coming to a realization that it's not just about them. Like, you're seeing the patterns in your life, and you're realizing, I got to handle me. Like, I got to take care of me. And that was my thing. I had to take absolute accountability for my own results in life, right? I can no longer play that victimhood narrative. Well, they did this and they did that, and she was this and she was that. It's like, wait a minute. Who's the common denominator in all these situations? Ding, 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 ding. This guy. That's who is. And so I really had to come back to a place where I do say come back to intentionally. I had to come back to a place where I remembered who was the first cause of every single one of those relationships. And anything that went astray, or whatever it was a manifestation of my own belief system as well as the other individuals. So I couldn't just place all the blame on them and then I'm back running the streets and looking for somebody who I can hide behind again, right? I really have to get down and do the inner work. And so this is really the first time in my life where I said, you know what? I'm actually going to take this time to completely and absolutely get into relationship within. Like, I'm not going to run around and play a little here, play a little there. And trust me, there is temptation when you are in these streets. Are you kidding me? Everywhere you look, it's like the moment that you turn single, or the moment that you turn single, like it's an age, the moment that you become single, it's like people start popping out the woodworks. Boom, bam, boom, bam. You at the gym, all of a sudden, 3 of them behind you. Whoa, where'd y'all come from? Check at the front desk looking good. Why you gotta be right here? Why you gotta be looking at, why you gotta, come on. Why you gotta, no, you know what I mean? But then you remember, wait a minute. No. Anything I'm attracting right now is going to resemble what I just came out of, right? Which might have been a decade-long cycle of the same perpetual toxicity. And that's the case for most of us when we step into adulthood, is like all of your unpacked luggage showed itself, and then you packed it back up and you pretended that it never happened, and then all of a sudden you got to unpack it again. You got to unravel it all again, as opposed to unpacking, taking some things out, most things out, hopefully everything out of them bags until they're clear, right? Taking care of that internal state of yours. And that's what I mean when I'm talking about the season of singleness. But what I see in more cases than not, I don't know where that accent came from. What I see more cases than not is individuals who claim to be in this season, but really they're contradicting their own intention. And the reason I care enough to sit here and record this video and put it out into the world and do all this, the reason why I feel it's important enough to be out there, this specific message, is because I know the detriment of not truly doing something that you're saying you're doing. And I know what it does to our own trust level with ourselves, right? When I stay out of integrity with myself, like I used to say a bunch of things to myself that I actually didn't fulfill or did not do. A lot of things on my list that weren't getting done. When I continuously keep that pattern up, I lose trust with myself. In the very same way, I would lose the trust of somebody who I told things to, like I'm going to do this and do that and do this. And then I fell through on those things. I'm never going to do this, never going to do that. And then I do those things. At some point in that relationship, I will lose that person's trust. And we do this to ourselves continuously, time and time again. And more specifically, when it comes to this thing of like, I'm truly single and I'm healing, we have to be serious about this, folks. Because if you ain't, like, if you're just going to dibble and dabble, be honest with yourself. Coach Bobby Blueford, shout out to him. Make sure to check out his channel. He and I often have this discussion, and it's an idea I actually got from him, which is if you're going to do it, like really do it and be honest with yourself. Like he says, if you want a six pack, then be honest about it. But if you don't want that six pack, just be honest, right? Like, and again, it sounds so simple and straightforward and surface and somewhat shallow, but it has a deep and profound truth. If you do not want that six pack, which means you're not willing to do the things to get that thing, then just be honest with yourself and just live your life out, right? Go and eat the cakes and the donuts and the this and the potatoes and the potential. Just go and do what you want to do, as opposed to staying in this place of cognitive dissonance where you continuously are fighting yourself. And again, that's the truth I had to come to. And also the truth I had to shed light upon with different, clients and students that I've gotten the opportunity to work with. It's like, look, okay, you're saying, you're in this space of singleness right now. You're saying you're in this healing state or space, but why is it that you still got 10 and 15 conversations, or even 3 and 4 conversations, or even that one conversation with that one person that reflects the old you? Why are you still entertaining that? Like, what is the actual purpose? And I don't say that to shame you, you're bad you, and slap your wrist type. Nah, I'm asking you that because sometimes we don't ask ourselves these questions, and we need to. That's the only way we can actually truly grow, is we have to say, or be honest with ourselves to say, I'm doing this thing because I have not yet gotten over this thing of needing validation, right? External validation is what I'm truly seeking. That's my North Star, and I'm still seeking that from somebody. I need the validation of a man. I need the validation of a woman. Like us as men, we got to be honest with ourselves, right? Or specifically straight men, because that's the experience that I understand, and that's the one that I know. I know that we were raised or taught to believe at some point in time, we were conditioned to believe that your value comes from females desiring you. If a woman likes you, if a woman is into you, if she's willing to give it up to you, quote unquote, then you are worthy of love. You are desirable. And so if you don't have that happening for you, at least at a consistent rate, then you're not worthy. And so we go out and chase and chase and chase and chase more tail. And then we find ourselves in a place where, well, we're dissatisfied, of course. But number 2, if you don't have that coming in, then you feel worthless. And so we really have to start questioning, where do I get my value from? Where do I get my sustenance from? Am I getting it out there or within here? And that's the questions we have to ask ourselves when we're on this quote unquote season of singleness. That's the stuff that we really got to start unpacking. And it's not the easiest stuff, and it's not the most glamorous stuff, right? What we want to work on is like, oh, okay, maybe tone up the body, right? Oh, I'm finna tone up. I'm finna glow up on these bitches, right? I'm finna glow up. That's what y'all finna tone up and glow up. That's what you about. I'm finna watch me. You got all kinds of stuff going on. New outfits, new this, new drip, right? But the one thing you didn't get was a renewed mind. You got the new gifts. You got the renewed membership to the Macy's, but you did not get a renewed mind. And that's the disconnect. That's why you continue to find yourself back in the same situation. Yeah, your outside might have got a little more fly or whatever. You might have started doing some things, right? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Go get fly. Get as fly as you can. I believe, look, some people view me as like a spiritual teacher, and I say, okay, I'll take spiritual teacher. But I'm a dude who's like, look, go get fly. Like, y'all see me on camera, I got my little tank tops or whatever, but you catch me out, like really outside, drip. But that drip is not what makes me. I'm not possessed by my possessions, and neither should you be. It's not about glowing up and showing up in some type of way, but it's about showing up for yourself in the fullest way. And that's the gospel truth. I promise you that. So when you find yourself in this place where you're season of singleness and I'm doing me and this, that, and the third, really start to investigate what that means to you and just be honest about it. Like if your quote unquote season of singleness is like run these streets and do whatever you're going to do, then go ahead and do that and be honest with yourself. Don't be in it and shameful. Don't be in it and hiding. Don't be in it and, oh, I'm working on me. Like don't lie to yourself, because then you're also doing a disservice to the inner work. Like, don't disserve the inner work. Oh, I'm doing the work, but you're not really doing the work. You're talking about the work and you're getting worked over. Yikes. So, yeah, good talk. Good talk. Before I skedaddle out of here, I want to give a shameless plug, actually a guilt-free plug, to my first published book, Doing Me Guilt-Free. Make sure to get yourself a copy of one of these bad boys right here by clicking the link in the description below. Now, this was a large manuscript copy. You're going to get the paperback, right? The 300-page paperback joint, but you will fly through it in one night. As soon as you open that first page, I'm telling you, like, okay, I might give y'all just a little taste of it. Okay. Chapter 1 is called Being Quote Unquote Good. For as long as I remember, life for me was nothing more than a mission to collect as many gold stars as humanly possible. Everything I did, every word I spoke, and every thought I ruminated upon served one single purpose. That purpose was the cultivation and the maintenance of quote-unquote goodness. Since the moment of my inception, even before my entire head was completely visible from the canal, I was already on a one-way track to people-pleasing. And though I did not know it at that moment, I just entered a world that would demand goodness of me the very moment I aged out of that unbelievably adorable phase of infancy. Y'all gonna have to buy the book to get the rest. This is unpacking season. I don't know about the last lifetime or the next, but this one right here, like we're unpacking, unlearning, and relearning. That's what we're doing here. So if that's what you're about, tune in, stay tapped in, subscribe to the channel. You know what to do. I am Aquarius Wave, and I'm out.